Good Saturday evening, everyone. Welcome to GardenStateWeather.com and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, providing superior forecasting for the northern mid-Atlantic region 24 hours a day. I am meteorologist Robert Smith, and this is our second day of spring. We see our birds out there. We can hear them in the morning. And yes, the blooming on the trees. It is spring. And right now we are going through a very difficult worldly time, and I hope that everybody is taking care of themselves and socially as well as mentally and physically. It is a difficult time for all of us around the world, and of course the news is quite saddening across the region and across the world, actually. And we must take steps to alleviate the tension, the anxiety, and some of the depression and financial difficulties that we're going through. You got to get outside, folks. You got to exercise. You got to do what the birds do. You got to sing in the morning, get up, and get out and start walking. This is a special video forecast discussion on the snow and rain situation coming up for Monday and the rest of the week ahead. Okay, first of all, the National Weather Service in Mount Holly is issuing the snowfall amounts here, and this is for Monday across Sussex County. These are going to be elevation dependent, 1,000 feet and higher here in Sussex, 1 to 2 inches. Down through portions of northern Morris County is going to be less than an inch. And of course, Mount Pocono being the highest elevations here between 4 and 6. Now, this is the range in the forecast. The point in the forecast is that, you know, we have a sun angle in March that's equivalent to that in September now, so it's going to be very difficult to produce a lot of snow in this area, even if the low pressure center develops off the coast here, which we'll show you in a few minutes, with isentropic lift and overrunning and frontogenetic forcing on Monday morning and Monday afternoon. Going to be wet bulbing, some temperatures near the surface that are going to be near freezing, so that wet bulbing and ascent in the atmosphere is going to produce the strong lifting, and that's where, you know, we're finding the highest amounts of snow again. In March, you know, our sun angle is equivalent to that of mid-September, so it's going to take a lot for it to snow, and we have to have a lot of vertical motion in the atmosphere, especially Monday morning, to get these kind of amounts of snow. And again, elevations will be at the highest peaks here, would receive the highest amounts of snow, and even in Orange County in New York. Okay, we're going to start off with the European Model Guidance High Resolution, and we've got high pressure in control right now. Here's our front. Here's our high pressure moving into the area. As we get into Sunday night and Monday, here comes the isentropic lift and the warm air advection. We're going to start out as some snow and sleet north of 78 and 80 here into the Poconos and Orange County and into New York State. And here comes the isentropic lift and the frontogenetic forcing here by mid-morning on Monday, and that's where the heaviest snow and ice accumulations or snow and sleet would occur across northeastern Pennsylvania into northwestern New Jersey, north of 78, mainly north of Interstate 80 and along Interstate 80. And everything just warms up, and it's a moderate to heavy rain, and we can see that now across the coastal areas, New Jersey, New York, down to the Philadelphia I-95 corridor. The center of low pressure moves off the coast. Now, then weak high pressure builds in briefly for Tuesday. Here comes Wednesday. Here comes another system up the Ohio River Valley, and this one looks mostly like rain at this point. There could be some snow across the higher elevations in New York from Syracuse down through the Poconos, but everybody else looks like rain at this point. And that moves out as the low pressure moves off the mid-Atlantic coast states and deepens. 995, not too shabby. And if we move this along, again, we're going to have another clipper system moving in on Friday. This system would dictate precipitation in the form of rain, light rain, in the morning on Friday, and that moves out, and here comes the next isentropic lift event. Again, another system moving into the St. Lawrence River Valley and areas to the north and west in Canada, and that produces some rain around here again on Saturday night and Sunday. So we have an active pattern moving forward, as naturally would be at this time of the year during the transition period, and then high pressure builds in for the early part of next week. When we go upstairs to the mid-levels of the atmosphere, about 5,000 feet from this morning's European high-resolution model, we could see that chillier air. I mean, we were in the 70s and 80s yesterday with some records on Friday. Right now, we're marginally, cooler. And on Monday, again, the situation is marginal for snow. It's going to be highly dependent, sun angle, obviously. Even if the sun's not out and precipitation's occurring, you have to understand that the sun angle at this time of the year is equivalent to that of mid-September, and we can see this in the 850 millibar temperatures, and we can also see a rapid warm-up and return to warmer weather by Tuesday and Wednesday, by Monday night and Tuesday. And again, we're going to be going in and out of this cold and warm influx going forward. Is a strong warm influx coming on next weekend, and that would be ahead of a cold front. And look at Detroit, -8. Again, mid-level temperatures really going to cool down again around Toronto, Detroit, New York City, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C. for the end of this month. And it's going to get cold around here just briefly, and then that cold air again is going to start to evacuate, and we can already see a return by the end of this month, Tuesday the 31st, and going into the first part of April, where things are going to start to gradually warm up. But the end of this month looks quite chilly across this area, according to the latest high-resolution modeling. What really stands out to me at this time of the year is the influx or change in the jet stream structures between the polar and subtropical jet streams and the MJO, the Madden-Julian ice oscillation, the ENSO situation. And forget about, blocking or things like that. This time of the year is generally wet in general across the area, and we can see this. Look at the total accumulated precipitation. This is the high-resolution European model guidance, and it's showing us that by Tuesday, Monday night and Tuesday, gets pretty wet from Philadelphia down to Washington, D.C. But if we move this forward through all the systems that are going to be moving through here during, and the storm tracks too, through the end of the month into the beginning of, April here. We'll stop this. Look at this amounts of precipitation we're dealing with. 2, 3, possibly 4 inches of precipitation in spots across northern and southern New England, the northern mid-Atlantic coast states. So, we're in for a very wet period, and this area, especially the Corn Belt area, the Ohio River Valley, the Midwest and Southern Plains, which we're not showing you on this map at this time, this is going to be a late start and a problem for farming this season, and that means your produce. Yes, folks. Okay, this is coming from the Weather Prediction Center. This is over the next 7 days, ending Saturday, March 28th. And as you can see, the Corn Belt, the Ohio River Valley area, the southeast states, and the northern mid-Atlantic and southern New England states here in the highest threat for the highest precipitation totals, keeping us on the very wet side. And we can also see the last 24 hours where we had temperatures in the 70s and 80s, and now those temperatures are about 20 to 25, even 30 degrees below normal here across southern New England, all the way down through the northern mid-Atlantic. Temperatures have warmed up quite a lot across the upper Midwest and the central plains, and they've cooled down here across Texas as well. So there's lots of things going on in these observations. Let's take a look at the current 2-meter temperatures this evening. Of course, the warm spots here would be, the southeast, including Florida and the Gulf Coast, but it's chilly even across most of the country, including Texas. And let's face it, the middle Mississippi and Tennessee River Valley areas, the northern Ohio Valley areas, all the way into the Great Lakes, where temperatures are in the 20s and 30s, and along the northern mid-Atlantic states, where, of course, temperatures are in the 30s and 20s and 40s. And, we've had so much snow this year. We're 80, 90 plus inches of snow. We've already talked about this on Electroverse this evening, where this area and other areas in Europe have received multiple feet of snow, and they're struggling with it. Well, that's going to end this video forecast discussion for tonight, because my ears are still aching from the past week of not being at work because there is no work, and I also had an ear infection. So I'm trying to hold myself together, and of course, this worldly episode happened with the coronavirus, so I'm trying to hold it together. But let's look at the birds. Look outside, hold your head up high, be strong, people. We can get through this. For GardenStateWeather.com and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, I'm meteorologist Robert Smith. You have a very good weekend. Be safe out there. Remember, practice safety measures.